Yeah. Yeah, you know what it is. 140 for the rapper, busy man, shit, nigga. They take their head off, nigga.
Okay, where Eve did to Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like Samson, I can't let no hoe lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Nigga think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Suckle up and stay alert. Another cop can stretch the nigga. He ain't demon, this an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that oath in blood, then you know I'm gonna get active with you. From the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spit, I ain't listening. Is in fact the fear. Revenge was a woman, now I stroke that bitch like Jake. So I war, we gon' run the summer. It's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. As who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crack as hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do that. Bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on this Glock and call it young baby. How you real triggering on them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? When he saying something, I ain't hear him. This shit like it ain't on who got the gun, it's on who gon' up that fight first. I turn a bad situation to a game changer. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chains. Bring shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never fight the hand that feeds you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitching about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. A certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, out with that hollow side, yeah, this the rim accord. Feel like Gullah Jake when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still up on my bread, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get it, boy, lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
Yeah. 144 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and they head with that shit.
Friday, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived, they don't know how I did it. Got it out the mud, straight to glory, they don't know how I get it. He nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, I'm too solid, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for it, I got real soldiers, kill for me, nigga, watch yourself. They said you been in beast mode lately, you is 9-step. We ain't dropping that 5, pressure smash, they inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see them conspiring. Cross the line, them firing. This bitch here, finna break the skin, no kindness, I don't trust you, circle small. You can keep your features, me and my niggas don't keep no secrets. And it feel like Jeepers Creepers, say they want some smoke, dog. So I brought these chimney sweeps, coming like we, you can't even cap. These niggas don't run it like we run it, bitch, don't even start. Bitch, I'm with my niggas till the end, till them do us part. If you wanna leave, you can leave, bitch, bless your heart, fine in. I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived, they don't know how I did it. Got it out the mud, straight to glory, they don't know how I feel. He nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a man, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. I heard they want my life, I ain't worried, I got rank for real. Take over in effect, yeah, I'm fully focused. You might not see it on me, just know it's women, that bitch fully loaded. Ooh, yeah, we up and rolling. Told them I need major motion. Think I'm joking, I'ma school them niggas like they baby Jody. Got it out the dust, now I'm too clean, don't know why they hate me. What you want out loud? shit on lock till I snapped on them like bolt cutters. You cannot play both sides, gotta choose your colors. See him throwing that one up with that W, that's my blood, bro. Fine in. I ain't show no mercy, I'm gonna show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it. Got it out the dust, straight to gold. They don't know how I feel. He's nice, but he don't show the skills how I show the skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got a made, circle tight, yeah, back and seal. Said they want my life, I ain't worried, I got Ray for real. Dang! Chilling motherfuckers. Stand over him, shoot him in the face. Hey, listen, bro, you don't know, y'all. I mean, this tripping.
All right, Shalom Israel. Y'all Bashim Yahweh Shah Barakatha. Yahweh Shema Allah Thumb Bashim Yahweh Shah. To all the brothers. To all the sisters, Salaki and Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah Barakatha. To all the brothers. All right. It's the Friday. Ashawan Kodash. I'll put my phone on mute. As y'all know, all phones on mute. Okay, here we go again with this camera that I keep up. Every time Barzal come over here and do his best with this camera. Here I go. The best around with it, yo. And here looking like a creep on the front of the camera, like I'm keeping time or something. You know what I mean? Here we go. I messed it up again, Barzal. My bad, brother. There we go. I think I got it. All right, cool. So, that being said, it's a Friday class, y'all. We're going to get into some Lashawan Kodash. As y'all know, one of the first things you got to show is the 1611 Bible, all right? 1611 Bible. Okay, I love to go and show the brothers who helped translate the Bible. So that's what I'm going to do now, all right? Let me see. Let me check the class real quick. Check the sound of the class. I see it just popped up. Boom. We're gonna check the sound, y'all. Make sure everything good. I want to make sure y'all can hear me and I can see the comments. Okay, there we go. That's good. That's good. Let me pause it. Boom. There we go. All right. That being said, we're going into this right here. 1611 Bible, y'all. 1611 King James. All right. We're going to break down. We're just going to do a short, brief explanation. Not explanation, but we're going to show who translated the Bible. The men that translated the Bible.
Which chapter?
Are you in the 1611? Mm-hmm. All right. So if you can hand me this Bible that you have, right? This Bible right here, the difference is, I'm going to grab this over here. Here's the difference, right? Just in case y'all did not know. The difference between the 1611 and the regular King James Bible. So this is the 1611, the original King James Bible. This King James Bible, it had this, what's considered the Apocrypha, which is this little red book. It was decided to be sold separately. All right. They decided to sell the Apocrypha separately than the rest of the King James Bible because the Apocrypha got a ton of the, ASS kicking. And that God only loves Israel. And a lot of the evil that these heathens was doing to us is in the Apocrypha. The 1611 has the Apocrypha in it. All right. So that's the difference. I'm going to hand you back the Bible. Just so, just in case people didn't know. Now we're going to read the men that actually translated the Bible. All right. I'm not sure if anybody really goes into this outside of the ISUPK. Right. But the ISUPK, we for sure break this down. So I got everything highlighted. We got a student in the class. Come on up here, y'all. You know what I mean? Get this young man a hand. Tribe you from? Isupk. So I'm gonna have you up here and read if you don't mind. You ain't on the run or nothing, dog. You know what I mean? If you are, you can just chill over there. You're still in the class. We ain't gonna have you on the camera. So, all right, I want you to read everything that's highlighted. I'm gonna break this down to you. So you might gotta slide over this a little bit. No, you good. You can come back. All right, cool. So you can start here, and then we're gonna go just read a few of these. So you can start here, and we're gonna read about King James. All right. His Majesty.
His Majesty began made.
Being
made acquainted with the choice of all, them to be employed in the translating of the Bible in such sort.
So being made, what was that A word? Acquainted. Acquainted with what?
With the choice of all.
With the choice of all, go ahead.
Them to be employed.
Them to be employed, they got paid to do this.
In the translating of the Bible.
And the translating of the Bible. So King James, he had the power to choose who was going to translate the Bible. You can start here, because the rest of them highlights, some of them is just like seeping through from the previous page. You can read though. No, right here. I think some of that is from what I highlighted on the next page. Go ahead.
The Mr. Lively here named was the professor of Hebrew at Cambridge and must have specifically attracted the notice of the king.
Now, Mr. Lively, he was the head professor, and he said he must have attracted the notice of the king. Who is that king? That king is King James. All right, I don't even want to mess with the camera no more and mess nothing up. So let's you can read, you can drop down to there. Mm-hmm.
The interest taken by James is further shown by a critical sent out by Bancroft to the other bishop of July 31st, including a letter of the 22nd from the king stating that he had appointed certain learned men.
He did what?
Appointed certain learned men.
So King James appointed certain learned men to translate the Bible. Go ahead. So wait, that cuts what? That cuts King James wrote the Bible. No, he didn't. That's not what it say right here. It say he appointed learned men who knew Hebrew to translate the Bible. Not he wrote it himself. Go ahead.
To the number of 4 and 50 for the translating of the Bible, and that in this number strives of King himself being unable to.
Now wait, 4 and 50, 54 men to translate the Bible. Go ahead.
King himself by unable to redeem this in any.
Unable to remedy
this in any convention time.
In any convenient time, go ahead.
Enjoys all patrons of passenger. Wait, what?
I can see. Personages
or pardons of the value of 20 pounds at least to certify him.
And that's how much money he paid him. 20 pounds or whatever, silver or whatever it was. Now let's go to the next page, right? Because some of that highlighted is just seeped through from this page. So now we're going to read who actually translated the Bible. All right. So we know that King James paid 20 pounds or whatever, right? To 54 men, 54 learned men to translate the Bible. And we know that a certain man named Mr. Lively was the top professor. So start here.
In order set down for the translating of the Bible by King James.
In order that what?
Set down for the translating of the Bible by King James.
For the translating of the Bible by King James. Did King James write the Bible, y'all? Hell no. Now, this is why people got to stop smoking weed, right? And listening to goddamn conspiracy theories. All you got to do is pick up a book.
Stop listening to garbage media.
Con, y'all raise your hand. But, you know what I mean? But definitely that's a good point. Stop listening to the garbage media that you're listening to while you high as hell. Because that's what people do in the world. That's what I used to do. I was the Egyptologist of weed smokeology. Never got me no damn where. Go ahead.
Guys do the same thing.
He said he used to do the same thing. Look, who didn't do the same damn thing? Every conspiracy theory that come on, you see, that's what I was talking about. Did you see the trails in the air?
They so-called sold their souls.
Yeah, they sold. Y'all raise your hand out, but I feel you. I'm with you on it. They sold their souls. Now they did actually do that. They sold themselves, the person, to do whatever the oppressor asked them to do. So they did sell it to the devil that the Bible speaks of. They sold themselves. That's why you call it a sell out, because you now belong to the oppressor. That's why rappers can't get out of contracts and movie stars and different things, because they themselves are owned. Literally, them are owned by the oppressor to be whatever their rap name is or whatever your singing name is. Go ahead.
Jim Carrey is a perfect example.
Yeah, Jim Carrey, a perfect example. Everybody, man, Kevin, all of them. When you in that contract, especially athletes, you do something wrong, brother. They did Iverson like he was somebody, and then the next thing you know, he was just on the bench. They did him. That's how you know he sold himself. He didn't sell the thing that was within him. You know what I mean? He sold himself to the oppressor for the basketball money, which is why he was complaining about the practice. He didn't say this doesn't fit right in my spirit. This don't fit right within me. He was saying, bruh, I don't have to come to practice. He could have said, listen, I'm at home, but my soul is there. Y'all got my soul, you know what I mean? So that's just to go into that. Now, with that being said, King James did not write the Bible. He translated the Bible. So give me, keep reading right here, whatever this is.
Places and persons agreed upon for the Hebrew with the practical books of them under trademark.
Now, these people right here translated Hebrew translators. And what they did, the actual books they translated, we're about to read. So these men came from Westminster. The men we're about to read. You can go ahead and read that. Hold on, Salaki, I'd like to do one thing real quick. Always, the Bible says prove all things. This is highlighted. This is what we've been reading. We starting right here, literally right here. We just read up here. You can even see King James' name a little bit, where it talks about the translating of the Bible by King James. That's the last word. You can literally see of the, and then that word next to it is Bible, then that word next to it is by, then this last word is King James. So if I move my hand, it goes all the way over. You'll see that one big word next to that little word the, and it's translating, and then you got of the Bible by King James. All right. Okay, and it says that this word right here it says an order set down for the translating. That's what it says. An order set down for the translating of the Bible by King James. King James did not translate the Bible himself. He paid 54 men to translate the Bible. Where we just read this right here, where it tells you that the particular thing they did and where they came from and what they translated. And we're about to read here and go down and start here. All right. So we prove in all things, 1 Thessalonians 5:21. You can start right there.
Mr. Dean of Westminster.
So Mr. Dean of Westminster, go ahead.
Dean of Paul's. Doctors. What's that?
I can't see it. Doctor, I always say Severia. I don't know how you really
Dr.
pronounce
Severia,
it. Mm-hmm.
Mr. Dr. Clark, Mr. Dr. Leffyfield, Mr. Dr. What's that?
Ty or Tay.
Ty, Mr. Berger. Wait, what the heck?
Mr. Burleg,
Mr. King, Mr. Thompson, and Mr. Badwell.
Mr. Bodwell. And what did they translate?
The story of
It say the Pentateuchbon,
the story from
Joshua,
of the first book of Chronicles.
Chronicles.
Exclusive.
So they exclusively did Joshua to the book of Chronicles. All right. What's they call the Pentateuch bond. All right. So now we're gonna go to Cambridge University. Go ahead.
Mr. Lively, Mr. Richardson, Mr. Cartesian, Mr. Dillingham, Mr. Harrison, Mr. Andrews, Mr. Spaladin, Mr. Bing.
And what did they translate?
From the first of the Chronicles with the rest of the story and the
And a hierography.
this Job, Blasphemous Pro.
No, Psalms, Proverbs, Canticles, and Ecclesiastes. So they did Ecclesiastes, Proverbs, Psalms, Job. What else they did? And Canticles. They did the Canticles. All right. So they did a ton. And that was, we read the first one, and that was this right here. Out of Cambridge. Now we're gonna go over here and read about the rest of the Hebrew. Go ahead. The rest of the Hebrew translators. Go ahead.
Dr. Harding,
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Reynolds,
Reynolds.
Yes, Dr. Reynolds, Dr. Howland, Dr. Kibley, Dr. Sipton, Dr. Brett, Mr. What the heck?
Let me see. Mr. Faircloth. And what did they translate?
The 4 or greater prophets with the limitations and the 12 lesser prophets.
So who would be the 4 greater prophets? Moses, Daniel, Ezekiel, the ones with the gigantic books that we know about. Daniel, Ezekiel, Moses. Give me one more. Isaiah. So they would be the 4 major prophets, and then the 12 lesser ones. Yeah. Well, not Jacob. I'm talking about like Habakkuk, Micah. What else? Obadiah. The 12 ones that would be considered lesser, like with the less books. Everybody in between. You know what I mean? Habakkuk, Micah, Joel. The other brothers did Job. So yeah, all those: Habakkuk, Job, Micah, Joel. Habakkuk, Micah, Joel, Obadiah, Zephaniah, Zechariah, all those. All right. So now let's keep going. Let's read the last one out of Cambridge again. Go ahead.
Dr. Dupart, Dr.
So they got Cambridge on here twice, just so y'all know. Go ahead.
Dr. Bernard with Dr. Radicate, Mr. Raid Emin, Mr. Downs, Mr. Boyd.
Oh, Mr. Ward. So Mr. Eamon Ward.
Eamon Ward, yeah.
Right. So Ward is his last name. His first name is Eamon. Then you have another Mr. Ward.
Mr. Ward Ridge.
And then I believe that might have been Reg Ward. Okay. All right. Now I can't say for sure, but it says R-E-G Ward. And then other one says E-M-A-N Ward. All right. Now, what did they translate?
The prayer of Massacins and the rest of the
Apocrypha.
Apocrypha.
You know what they translated? That was Hebrew.
Apocrypha.
There you go. This was Hebrew.
Apocrypha.
Right. There you go. You know what I mean? They translated
this book right here.
That's right. You just got to raise your hand. You know what I mean? I don't want to just, call out. But it's all good because this is our history. You know what I mean? What can they say? They can't say we don't know what the hell we're talking about because it's right here. Can you show them that? Those brothers translated this. That these last brothers all the way over here. Wait, where we at? Right here. These last brothers right there. That last little one. They did. I'm holding up the mic. They did the Apocrypha. Did this right here. Come on, man. Prayer of Manasseh and the rest of the Apocrypha. Now let's go to the Greek. Because the Bible was written in what? In Hebrew and in Greek. Let's read who translated the Greek. You can start at the top. But wait, let's show them first before they, because we don't want no haters. It's the 1611. Let me show y'all something. Y'all don't know this. Let me give my red a shout out real quick. This is my red Apocrypha. It's not mine. It's hers. You know what I mean? She got me one. I don't know how in the hell I ended up highlighting. Everything I did was in hers. Give her a hand. Because mine ain't got nothing in it. That's how you know. And we use these. We use these books so much, you be forgetting whose it is. I'm highlighting all in her Bible. This ain't even mine. Damn right. Because look at this. Let me show y'all some more proof. It say prove all things, right? Look at this. The dog bit this all up. This is the goddamn Bible dictionary. Because we use it. It's around the house. It's not up on the mantle collecting dust. And you come by and do this and do that and keep going. We open it. The book, the pages are, look, let me show you something. This is how you know we use it. This is a page ripped out of it. It's highlighted. Got stuff highlighted on it. Come on, man. That's what Christians don't do. Christians don't study a damn thing, man. All they know is feel good and whatever the hell I want is right.
Or whatever they think is right.
Yeah, or whatever they think is right. That's what I meant. Whatever I want is really whatever they think is whatever they want. Mm-hmm. If I want it to be this way, then it's right. If I want it to be that way, then that's right. Jesus, what? Knows my heart. And whatever my heart tells me, Jesus knows it, so it must be right. That's why children get molested. That's why drug addicts is drug addicts. That's why you got drug dealers, murderers, homosexuals, whores galore. Everybody, listen, everybody's damn child has become a whore. Who else? I mean, come on. Thieves, false prophets, you can forget. I mean, because whatever Jesus in your mind tells you, then that's what the hell you do. And it's right because God knows your damn heart. So when a child gets raped, you gotta forgive him for molesting your daughter. You gotta forgive him because he did it, and God knows his heart. It's evil, man. It's damn. And this is the problem. A lot of Christians, and then we're gonna get back to it. I'm gonna give you a second. A lot of Christians go to church to really find God, but that evil pastor, brother, shoot them down a river of goddamn sin and hell. Sell them right down the river for money. Your pastor sold his soul. He sold himself for what the oppressor was going to give him. Pastors work for hire. Pastors, I don't know if y'all know that. Did you know that? They hire pastors. You didn't know that? Yeah, pastors, they work. That's their job. They are hired by whatever the church, who owns the church. Literally, they're hired. That's crazy. You would have thought a pastor, you know what I mean? They hire pastors. If you don't teach what they want, they will get rid of you. Yeah, that's a real thing. All right, let's keep going. Oh, you wanted to say something? Yeah. Go ahead.
The oppressor be lying to you, man. Stop believing what the oppressor telling you in the Christian and Roman Catholic Church, man. Come on.
Yeah.
It's the oppressor's fault.
It is his fault.
And the truth and read some Hebrew.
That's right. Get his brother a hand, man. Get my hand. And if I could, we got to stop believing what they tell us without our own research. How we just going to go for it? You know what I never understood? If it was us, if we was just, people don't like us because we out on the streets teaching. So on the streets is like, no, that's the streets. You can't believe nothing you hear out there. And then you come to church, and because you call it a church, you just believe whatever. You believe whatever they tell you. Children get molested in churches, and nothing happens to them. If somebody molests a child, and if your own family member molested your child in your house, you're going to send them to jail. You're going to fight them. You're going to beat them up. If the pastor molests your child, it's good. You're going to find some type of way to get money for it. And you're going to still go to that church. Crazy. Go ahead, brother.
Khan. R. Kelly's a perfect example. He just got charged for his charges anyway.
Good night. The pastor can steal your money, but you won't give money to a damn homeless person because you don't want them to get high, or you won't help. You won't give somebody a ride because they might rob you. You won't roll down your window and give a person change because of what they might do. But in church, the pastor steal all of the money, and you come back next Sunday. That's our problem, man. That's our problem. We let our guard down, and the place where your guard should be up. When it comes to God, you should have goddamn visors and bifocals and goddamn contacts on, plus chains and a whip and a sword in case you got to protect yourself from some crazy wolf in sheep clothing, man. Go ahead.
And why I say come back, nothing, so they can scam you again.
And they come back and they get you again. Mm-hmm. Let's keep on reading, man. We go all day on these passages, boss. You already know. we could be here all night, man. All right. So go ahead, Doc. So we're going to read who translated the Greek. Keep going.
To places and persons agreed upon for the Greek with to practical books by them undertaken. So once again, this just proves that King James did not do it himself. These men were agreed upon. How did he agree with himself? Well, a king has a council, doesn't he? King James has a council, or had a council of men. He was the king of more than one country at the same time. So he agreed that these is the men that he wanted to translate the Greek. So, Laki, let's go ahead. Kappa Khan, Mr. Dave Krebston, Mr. Dean of
Winchester,
Mr. Dean of Woodcrester, Mr. Dean of Winster, Mr. Savalev, Mr. Perens, Mr. Ravens, Mr. Hammer.
And what did they translate?
The four gospel acts of the
apostles,
apocalypse.
With apocalypse. They did Revelations and they did Acts of the apostles. Come on, man. It said the four gospels, then it said Acts, and it said the apocalypse. So they did Matthew, Mark, John, and Luke. They did Acts, and they did Revelations, which is what they call the apocalypse. They did Revelations. Go ahead. So we're going to go. So we just read, these men came out of Oxford. The one at the top, that's Oxford. So now we're about to read at the bottom. Over here, we're about to read Westminster. The ones out of Westminster that translated the Greek. Go ahead.
Dean of Cabersters.
Let me see. Dean of Chester. Go ahead.
Dr. Hutchinson.
Dr. Hutchinson.
Dr. Spencer. Mr. Fenton. Mr. Rabbit. Mr. Sanders. Mr. Dawkins.
Mr. Dawkins and Mr. Sanderson. And what did they translate?
The epistles of St. Paul.
So they did all Paul, the epistles of Paul. Go ahead.
The canonical epistles.
The canonical epistles.
Canonical epistles, yeah. There we go.
So let's keep going. Let's go to the this because we on a little bit short on time. Let's keep going because we gotta get in some Hebrew, of course. Let's read a little bit of this and the bottom, and I think that is it. For it. Let me see. Yep, that is it. So we're gonna read this last part right here. You can show them what we're about to read. About to read this right here. All right. So let's get it. So now we read everybody who translated the Hebrew and everybody who translated the Greek. Go ahead.
Khan, the Bible of 1611, chapter 39. The rules to be observed in the translation of the Bible
The ordinary Bible read in church, commonly called the Bishop Bible, to be followed and is little alerted as the truth of the original permit.
The original will permit. What they were saying is this. I'm going to read it to you. The ordinary Bible read in church, commonly called the Bishop's Bible. Because remember, just like the general was brought out, at that time, just the deacon or the bishop, or what you would call today a pastor, he would just read out of the Bible and then recite it to you, and that was it. You just went the hell home. You didn't have a Bible. So it said that Bible to be followed, go ahead, Salakia, and little altered, meaning, so when they say King James, he changed it, he did what he wanted. No, he wanted little things altered, all right? Meaning he wanted everything to be the same, and he wanted it little alterations. Why? Because they were translating it, meaning they wanted it to be damn near the same, to try and make it as close as possible with very few alterations, meaning if the translation is saying this, but the Bishop Bible says that, let's try to get it as close as possible, and let's make very little alterations. Let's not have it be different, way different than what, you know what I mean? Because remember back then, it's like, I'm trying to do the right thing. And what did they have to say that the Bishop Bible wasn't the right thing? They really didn't have any damn thing. You know what I mean? So he's like, all right, let's make sure that's followed. And let's try to keep the alterations to a minimum. But let's also translate it the correct way. So let's keep going.
The names of the prophets and the holy
we could
writers.
Go ahead.
With the other names of the text to be retained as nigh as many as may be accordingly as they were vigorously used.
So the names, he wanted to be damn near the same as they were. All right? The way they was used. They were saying Isaiah, he wanted the name to still say Isaiah. Because he could have had it translated and had it say Yeshaya. You know what I mean? He could have had Joshua say the book of Yahushua, the book of Mashah. You know what I mean? Like he could have had it be those names. All right. The book of Ibadiah, which is Obadiah. It could have said Ibadiah, but he said he wanted to keep it the way the Bishop's Bible was. All right. So let's read this right here.
The old
ecclesiastical
words to be kept, viz. The word church, not to be translated congregation, and see.
So he said the words, he wanted them to stay the same. Don't change the word church to congregation, because remember, it was called a synagogue when Christ taught. Christ and them changed it to church because the synagogue became known with a false philosophy, to be partner with a false philosophy, the way a church today is known to be a part of a false philosophy. But he said, look, don't change it to congregation, because that's what a church is. It's a school. It's where people gather to learn the Bible. And because the word church got watered down, that's why we're the Israelite school of universal practical knowledge. Because we started as the Israeli church of universal practical knowledge. If y'all didn't know that, that was the Isupk. That was our name as it started. And then when they finally decided to say, why the hell are we saying Israeli? Why the hell are we saying church? First off, we the real Jews. And then second off, we gotta get the hell away from that name anyway, because we're not a part of Christianity. And now we the Israelite, which is the correct word, school, which is the correct word of universal practical knowledge, the way it's always been. All right. And they changed it. It became Isupk then, literally, back then. All right. Ain't like we came up with it and changed it now. It was that back in 69. Back in those times. Back when this truth was just growing and growing and growing. I mean, it's like it damn near reached the mountaintop, Barzal. Like we still rocking, you know what I mean? This truth is growing. I mean, we ain't there yet, but we gonna keep going. You know what I mean, ISUPK, brother, we don't stop. You wanted to say something up? All right, no sweat. Where was we at? Read. You can read this. Number 4. Yep.
When a word hath drives significations that to be kept, which hath been most commonly used by the most of the ancient fathers, being agreeable to what's that word? Propriety of the place and analogy of the faith.
Now, if y'all hear this, right? Everything that King James has been saying, that his orders that he's been giving out is keep this the same, keep that the same, make it as close as possible. Don't make too many big changes. Because once again, the book of Obadiah could have been a book of Ibadiah. They had Hebrew translators. The book of Joshua could have been the book of Yahushua. They had Hebrew translators. Book of Moses could have been a book of Mashah. The book of Isaiah could have been a book of Yeshaya. We wouldn't be saying Isaiah today. We've been saying Isaiah because of King James saying to keep it the same. Or we would have been saying, yeah, I read the book of Ibadiah, and it talks about the heathens. You know what I mean? The book of Obadiah. Oh yeah, I love reading the book of the book of Yeshaya, which is Isaiah. All right, so you wanted to say something, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So if they didn't call it that, why would they call it all this other, stuff that they called it back then?
Right, because
it wouldn't make no sense. And if they did call Hebrew, they all would have been confused.
Exactly, and it would have started a controversy.
Very.
So what you're saying is absolutely correct, because once again, they already had Bibles that the bishop only had. So now you're making a Bible for the everyday use, damn regular common man to have in his house collecting dust. With Christians, y'all should not be doing that. But anyway, now y'all got the Bible for everybody to have. And it got a bunch of different things in there. So it's a wise move to say, let's still just try to keep it as close as possible. Go ahead.
Bunch of different things that don't make any goddamn sense.
Right. Well, yeah, right. So he tried to keep it the same as much as possible, even though to them, a lot of the things that they was reading didn't make no damn sense. But now let's keep going. But he kept it the right way. What's the last one? Read number 6.
No marginal notes at all to be affixed, but only for the explanation of the Hebrew or Greek words.
Do you know why in the Bible it'll say a word and then tell you what it means in those little dot notes? It's King James. He said, don't do a whole bunch of explaining. Just if it's something about a word, then put that in there. That's it. Certain Bibles, it'll say religion, and then it'll say at the bottom of it, all the way down here somewhere, what religion it means, or what it's talking about. It'll say servant or whatever. All right. So read. Actually, you can read where your finger is at. Then we're gonna get into some Hebrew. But I thought this was important to show. I try to show this a lot because nobody brings this out. You know what I mean? I haven't heard anybody break this down. You know what I mean? I haven't heard anybody break this down outside the ISUPK. And I know that outside of the school, nobody knows what the hell we even talking about. So it's a big thing to say for us in the UPK to be able to show you who translated the Bible. Go ahead.
They don't know unless they remember the ISUPK.
Yeah, they're going to. One way or another. You can read this last part.
These translations to be used with when they are agreed. Better with.
Wait, these translations are to be what?
Used when they agree.
Go ahead.
Better with the text than the Bishop Bible.
Better with the what?
Better with the text than the Bishop Bible.
Better with the actual text than what the bishop's Bible is saying. It say when they agree, that's what we're going to use.
Part right here, yeah.
Better than the bishop's Bible. Let's read the text because we want to know what the actual text is saying. Isn't that the point of our salvation? Or am I going to let this damn bishop tell me how life's supposed to be all the time? Get a brother a hand. The water out. I mean, the water. You can take a seat. We're going to get into some Hebrew, man. What's your name, young man?
Alex.
Young man Alex. We're going to call you young man A. That's how we do it. Abbreviate everything. All right. That was amazing, man. So now we're going to get into some Hebrew, y'all. Oh, I wanted to bring one more thing out. I wanted to read this to y'all. This goes with it. Word language. All right. I'm gonna read to you the word language out the Bible dictionary. Okay. HIJKL. Slocky, I gotta do that, y'all. Y'all probably laughing at me. And the damn dog got all the damn pages stuck together. So I can't even see half the pages. All right, here we go. Go ahead, young man A.
So how do I? So I see it says the greeting for the brothers, but how do you translate? How do you say it correctly?
What?
I only know the shalom part, but I don't know the rest of it. The greeting for the brothers.
Oh, all right. Over time, you'll get it. You'll get it. And we can actually go through the greeting, and I can break that down for you.
You teach that later?
No, we can do that now. I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read language, right? Then it was something else that I wanted to read to y'all too. I just forgot it that damn fast. But it's all good. We ain't gonna do too much. Oh, here we go, right here, Bible. I got it all highlighted. It's a damn shame I gotta read this. But that's what happens when you use things, man. Your dog might just take a bite out of it because it's sitting around the house because you use it. It's not high up on the mantelpiece where all your dust and nastiness that you won't never clean off anyway is up there. You walking by the Bible and keep on going and smoke your damn crack and your weed. That's what we need to stop. Go beat that hoe off of that damn act. You walk past the Bible and keep going. We read it. Go ahead, young man.
Try to develop some practical knowledge of the ISUPK.
Yeah, practical knowledge from the ISUPK. So we're going to read the definition of languages. All right? I'll design the Van Compact Bible Dictionary. So like you always do that. All right? So this is page 318, or what's left of it. All right? So languages. Many different languages spoken in the Old Testament times. Israelites spoke Hebrew. I want to show y'all this. Israelites spoke Hebrew. That only word that's not highlighted says Hebrew. That was the Lord right there. He must have knew my struggle. God damn. So when they entered Palestine, and at least as late as the time of Nehemiah, and it remained the literary language permanently. All right, meaning we always spoke Hebrew. That was our permanent language. That's why they call us Hebrew Israelites, because we spoke Hebrew. Go ahead.
And I add that, yes, all you blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics spoke Hebrew before you spoke Spanish, English, and whatever the hell y'all was learning.
Yeah, man. That's true. And we don't know it. Every black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian spoke Hebrew before you spoke Spanish. All right? So let's keep going, right? It says, and just to add, the northern tribes, our Hispanic tribes, and our Native American tribes, they have more evidence proving that they are Israelite than black people do. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. They got Christopher Columbus literally as a witness to say that they spoke Hebrew when they got over here. They have a tablet with the 10 Commandments on it in Hebrew. And they came over here on a boat and went back on a boat. I mean, come on. Not to mention, countless are the pyramids. It's 10 times more than they can prove than what we can. All we got is damn slavery, for real. That's it. And because we black, hey, get that in. Because the Lord has some mercy. He almost wiped us all the way out. We ain't had, man, without slavery, who we had to say we was Israelites. We got the Jews are black and slavery, and that's about it. You got something else, Bronzo? I mean, the diamonds and rows of Jews, we do that now, but that's about it. We got like 3 scriptures, bro. Repping the Bible like this. Repping the Bible like we the it of the Bible. Like we the goddamn encore in the main event. And we got 3 scriptures. The Hispanics they got witnesses, artifacts, and pyramids, bro. And they went on the boat. I mean, you know, you can't argue with that the northern tribes of Israelites. Go ahead.
Then I also add that they only call us Aztecs because they knew that we know. They only call us Aztecs and Mayans because we knew how to keep time. That's why they gave us the name Aztec.
Yeah, I'm right. And you know how to keep time, which is in the Bible when they tell you the Lord turned back the dial of the sun, which they actually had one in stone. Now, of course, the false philosophy is still the same, but they had it. They got proof. All right. So I'm gonna keep on reading. It says, and it remained the literary language permanently, meaning that's what we spoke. We spoke Hebrew. It says in colloquial, I don't know what the hell that word is. All right, use, it was replaced by Aramaic, meaning what they would call modern Hebrew today, right? The chief languages in New Testament Palestine, Aramaic Hebrew, Greek and Latin, and they gave you a scripture, John 19:20. But what it says, the Aramaic, remember, they literally are talking about what we call the Assyrian. They're talking about these letters like that. Because remember, our characters were ba, ga, da, ha. But we also began to use this, all right? Abaga, da, and of course, ha. So we began to use these type of letters compared to what we started with, all right? So that's what they mean by the Aramaic. They're talking about the Assyrian. But this was the Hebrew that we originated with. Go ahead, brother.
So what kind of Hebrew do the so-called like Jews use besides us? Like, what's the difference between the Hebrew that we use and they use? Is it the same or is it different?
Well, I can show you. In the oppressor's Hebrew, and I'm gonna put this down. I think I read language before. I don't want to spend too much time on it, right? Let's get into some Hebrew. The oppressor's Hebrew. Let's just do this. Judah, right? This is our Hebrew. How about the Israel, right? Yah. Then you got Shah and Ra, which is connected. Shar, La. Yashar Allah, right? This is how it's pronounced. This is the name of our race. Yashar Allah. Allah is power, which is where the Arabs get Allah from, because we never told them to ask this God's name, right? Just told him he was the power.
So that's where they copied it from us out.
Now you gotta raise your hand, don't worry. Yeah. All right. Shar is prince, and then Yah is he. So, or in this case, we would say he is. So our language is he is. Our name is the name of our actual race. Hold on, I'm gonna give you 1 second. He is a prince of the power because certain things are assumed in Hebrew. You don't have to say is, you don't have to say a or of the in this context. It's assumed. He is prince of the power, or he is a prince of the power. What it's saying, he prince power. He is a prince of the power. So these 3 are assumed right here. You don't have to put the actual word in for, or else his name would have to be Yahaya. There's no word for a. You would just use Shar. The name of our race would have to be Yah Haya, right? Yahaya. Shar. Shal, which is of Shal Ha'ala. That's a long name, huh? It would have to be this right here. Yahya Shar Shal Ha'ala. That would have to be. That's just too damn long, and there's no need to do all that. Plus, this is a name. Ain't like you're speaking a sentence. This is a name. So Yashar Aleph, and it's all about how the name sounds. Yashar Aleph, Israel, and the Lord gave us this name. He's a prince of the power. Go ahead.
So now, all right, so what you were saying how that adverse copies, because you never told them the name of God, so how did they get the copy that name to make it Allah? How?
Because that's what Abraham told him it was. Told him it was Allah. Never told him. Remember, he was only around Abraham for 8 years. Mm-hmm. Give me the scripture when he kicked Hagar out, when he gave her the bag and the water until the brought her to get the step. You know what I mean? So this is our language, right? This is Israel. Right? Now, the way the oppressor will write this is Yah, Shah, and then he got Ra, then he has character and then the character La. But then he also has little dots and slashes and things like that in the midst of each one. He got weird little dots and things that are in between. Let me sort of make this bigger so y'all can see what I mean. This is our name. The name is Israel. He is a prince of the power. And that's for and y'all didn't know, the word God was mistranslated. It was supposed to be power. We princes of the Lord, of God, the Most High. Just so y'all know, that's the name of our race. That's why they call us nigger, spick, wetback, slave, black. Because the name of our race means he's a prince of God. She's a prince of God. She's a prince of the power. She's a princess of the power. She's a princess of God. Every black, Native American, and Hispanic woman. He's a princess. He's a prince of the power. He's a prince of God, man. And they disrespect us every day on a daily basis, man. With the nasty little proverbs and Bibles they call it. So I'm gonna just show you right here. Y'all remember that. That's what the name of our race means. That's the name of our race. You black or Hispanic, you're a prince of God or a princess of God. You're a prince of the power or a princess of the power. Don't ever forget that. And that's why we gotta act accordingly. We gotta act the role. So can't be man, they call us so many nasty names, man. Drug addicts and thieves and what's that one? Super predators. So this is the so to answer your one question, right? You asked me what was the difference, right? In the Hebrew that we speak and what the oppressor speaks. We use these letters, and that's what it was talking about in this book when they say the Aramaic, even though this is the Assyrian letters, this is what they're talking about. Right? They either attribute this to Aramaic, well, they attribute the whole Hebrew language to a man named Aram, which is wrong because it's called Hebrew, which comes from the word Eber. Hebrew comes from the word Eber, and not Aram. All right, but they call it Aramaic, trying to disrespect us again. But this is what they usually call Aramaic. But in that context, when it says it switched from the Hebrew to Aramaic permanently, it was talking about this. All right? Because we came into Israel with this writing style, which is why you see it everywhere, which they try to call Phoenician and they try to call it Aramaic, Phoenician, Paleo-Hebrew. And then you start to see these, which the oppressor still uses to this day. But these came from the Assyrians. And that's what they're saying is Aramaic.
Go ahead. Egyptian writing or something else.
Yeah, they call it some old craziness. But what they're trying to say is, or what the difference would be is now they use dots in between everything and little dashes and slashes and things of that nature to go and change the pronunciation of the word. Because that's all those little things do. As far as, this is Yiddish. What I just did with these dots, that's the Yiddish language. Literally, the Yiddish language is these dots and slashes in between the Assyrian, or what they called Aramaic letters. Literally. Because they use these little dots to change the pronunciation from Yashar Allah, because this is still the character Yah. This is still the character Shah. Nothing changed. I mean, it's the Assyrian. It's still Ra. This is still Ah and La. So Yah, Shar, Ah, La. It's still the same. But they use these dots for them to change the name to Yis. So now they connected this right here to say Yis, where there is no connector right there. And then they making this singular to say Ra. And then they connecting these to say El. Yisrael. Or Yisrael. Or Yisrael. That's what the oppressor does. He's an evil monster, man. And he deserves the punishment he got coming to him. Him and all his Yisrael-like friends. So like, I couldn't help myself. I had to do it. Him and all his little Yisraelis. Alright? And Yisna-Vishnakov. And Mazel Tov. And all that stupid garbage. Go ahead.
All the Israelis and all their keepers on their head and everything else.
Yeah, and all their little weird things. And they on the wall putting notes inside the cracks. Like, man, they ain't got nothing to do with our language, man, or our history. All right? Literally, they go to that wall, pray at the wall, write prayers, stuff it in the crack of the damn wall. It's pointless. Go ahead,
I
Alex.
say that you're not the Jews,
Yeah, they try to say all that crazy. Now, what I wanted to do today, since you asked me, right? What I wanted to do today is go over sentence, speaking in sentences. But since you asked me about the greeting, let me just show you all this. I have to say, prove all things. You know we love to do this in the Hebrew class. Here we go, the Hebrew greeting. Nice and laminated. It's been around forever, boy. Many, many moons. All right. So now we're gonna go into the greeting. So the brother asks, what does the greeting mean, right? You don't know how to say it, right?
I know how to say it correctly, but just the first part. That's it.
All right. So let me know what you know how to say.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Mm-hmm.
So now we'll get on the computer and show y'all all this on the computer, but I ain't gonna do it. We're gonna stay with the board for the day. Can I get a time check too?
Oh God, 12.
8:12. See, now that it gets dark earlier, it's the Sabbath now, y'all. We get to do, you know what I mean? Can we get some strong in here? Bubba Shaw, I mean, have a little strong drink. Go ahead.
Can I write it down too?
Yeah, you can write it. Just hold on real quick. I'm gonna let you write it. Which is an excellent question. Get it, brother Aaron. He said, "Can we write it with us?" Because this is his language. It's your language. It's your language, bars. All y'all language out there. You got remember, you gotta raise your hand, huh? All right.
Yeah.
But you can say what you was gonna say. Good.
But all you so-called Hispanics and blacks and Native Americans, that's y'all real language. It's not Spanish, not English, not all that. Come on.
Damn right.
It was the program.
With the program. So we're gonna start with the greeting for the males. All right. But before we go into that, I want to start with shalom.
Shalom.
Right? This word right here, shalom. All right. This is the character Shah. This is the character La. And this is the character Ma. The reason why why I'm saying characters and not letters is because our language is derived from pictures of things, right? Our letters, our characters. We got this from Adam. They call Phoenician and all that. Like I said, Phoenician, Aramaic, Paleo-Hebrew, whatever they want to call it. These letters came from Adam. This is what Adam used throughout. Laya Shalom, all right, which means to Israel. All right. Now, what Adam saw is a tooth. Took the bottom of a tooth, made it the character Shah. I forget what lie is. Lie is something, I forget what the hell it is. The character Ma is a wave. You had a surfboard. It's a wave. That's literally what it is. So you got a tooth, you got a wave. Because what was a man in Adam's time, the Garden of Eden? What did he have to make letters with? A laptop? The L comes from your laptop. Plug the damn cord into it. It's a lot. I couldn't help myself, but I had to do it. You know, this new generation. You know, nothing but computers and all that. And a lot from laptops. Like, leave it alone. But what was he seeing? What was his things of his time? You know what I mean? So our letters come from pictures of things. All right. And I just wanted to put that up there. So now we're gonna start with this word shalom. And that's why, like I said, I'm saying character and not letter. So Shah, then you can have the character La, and you have the character Ma, they're connected. Boom. So this is what you would call a singular connector. It means that this character or this letter is pronounced by itself, right? Then you have what you call a plural connector, which connects to
The batteries running low. That's what it says.
all right, okay, come. You just want to raise your hand, you know what I mean? Which connects to two different characters or two different letters. You're not going to see three character, you know, it ain't going to connect three things like that. It don't work like that. This connects two characters to say that whatever character or letter is being connected to, it loses the I at the end of it. Because our alphabet is A, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa. Everything is A. Everything has an I on it. You got AH, then you got Ba, B-A, Ga, which is G-A, and you know, all the way down. Za, to Za. So all these different characters, but all of them have A in the pronunciation. That's why they called us barbarians. Because from the ba, bara, bar, it's like we have bars all, right? Raka, barbarian, 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 all right? The ba, the all those, they made fun of how we spoke, pretty much. All right. So I just wanted to show you, I just wanted to break this down to you. So now, Salah, get his hand up. Go ahead.
Also, when they say Barcelona.
Well, that's something different, but a lot of the other languages do derive from Hebrew. Like a lot of, it's like Arabic. Well, what is salam alaikum? You know what that is?
Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah. I at the beginning of the word is I.
Yeah. It is.
In Hebrew. It's I or I-N. You got salam, which is shalom.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got wa, which is and then you got, well, shalom is peace. You know what I mean? And then you got wa, which is and then you got, you got, what they say, salam, or shalom, wa, lakum, right? La is to, come is you, plural, to your, plural masculine. So you got peace unto you. And what did they say back? Wa alaikum salam. Wa lakum shalom. And to you peace.
Oh,
Back.
so it's kind of similar. I mean,
Yeah, it's similar. Which is crazy, right? So anyway, let's keep going. So you got shalom. This word shalom is sha, la, and then ma connected. But remember, ma loses the ah sound off of it. So instead of it being shalama, it's shalom. This word means peace. You got an excellent marker in here today. Hosanna Christ. This word means peace. So shalom. Now people say it the wrong way. They say shalom, which is wrong. I'm going to tell you where they get this shalom thing from. Because remember, it's low. This is low. They say shalom. Shalom ma. Shalom ma. Shalom. Shalom ma. Shalom. Now let me show you where they get it from. They get it from this Hebrew word, shalom. Shalom, which is the same thing as shalom, but with the tense on it. Say peace, but to say peace, but as a usually the Y is ing, like peace or blessings, but the ing on it, ing, piecings or blessings. All right, so you would say barawak. You might see that word in Hebrew, blessings, peace. You know what I mean? Prosperity. That's what all this means. Peace, prosperity. That's what is used. Peace and prosperity and future inheritance of peace and blessings and inheritance. That's what that means. Hold on, I'm gonna get you in a second. Trying to break this down real quick. So law, and then ma. This law, they say changed it to lo. You got ma at the end, ma. And the ah sound at the end is not strong. Shalom. 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 Same thing. Shalom. Shalom. This acts the same thing that they say, but they get this from Esau. How terrible is that? You getting the way you speak your language from Esau? Bro, can we not be slaves for one damn day? For one day out the week, can we just not be the damn oppressor slave? This right here means peace, but in the sense of prosperity. All right? And you can look this up. I don't even know how the hell you say prosperity. I just put prosper. I might have spelled that wrong. Peace, prosperity. So prosper, peace, future peace, inheritance. I'm about to spell inheritance wrong, but I'll be with my spelling. All right. So that's what it means: peace, blessings, prosperity, future inheritance, future peace. That's what shalom means. Like peace, and the and is a tense to you know what I mean, on how we're using it, which I don't got no space to put it, but it's like whenever you use wa, it's usually to add an ing on it, on the word. Prosperity, future inheritance, peace. You can look this all up. It's a way to say shalom, which is what we say, which is in reading. You can say shalom. It's a different way of saying it, but not in the same context. There's nothing wrong with you saying it this way. Like we can say that too. We still say it, but we don't. But they pronounce it. A lot of fake Israelite groups, just like the oppressor, or the oppressor pronounced it more right than them because they know which characters is connected. Or they just saying it long. Well, they're not. The oppressor is not pronouncing it more right than them. He just knows which characters are connected. They are pronouncing it more right than the oppressor, of course, but they not connecting the right characters. They connecting wa and ma together. So and getting wam. So they getting shalom instead of shalom. Shalom or shalom. Shalom. They connecting these two together instead of connecting these two. Shalom, ma. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so when I was saying the Greek, I didn't know that you're not supposed to say it that. I didn't know that. I just thought you're supposed to say it the long way, and that's it.
Oh man, don't sweat that. You just learned it today. It's all good. Shalom. And let me show you this. There's a difference between shalom and shalom. One is shorter. Shalom. Shalom is an extra that sound or that extra pronunciation is the character Y. Shalom. Shalom. And then you got shalom. Hey, shalom, Mark, what's going on? Shalom. 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 Hey, shalom. What's going, I say, we say A, or I, I mean, a lot of times we say A. This from being in America, but you might say shalom or shalom. Shalom, Mark, what's going on? Hey, shalom, sis. Shalom, what's going on? Shalom. You know what I mean? But it's definitely not shalom. And we didn't start with that. We started with shalom, and we used shalom as well. I don't know who changed the way, who messed it up and connected the wrong parts, but you should stop because Esau got it right, and he's just saying it the wrong way. Same way y'all doing, and of course y'all outweigh Esau 10 times more because y'all Israelites, but
Let me add to that.
it's still bad. Go ahead, Al.
Yeah, Esau knows it, but he wanted to butcher it for us.
Yeah. So now, we're going to go through the greeting that you asked. A little bit more. Am I strong? So now, we start with peace. That's definitely what you want to come in when you're dealing with Israelites. You want to come in peace, but you will have a bad day. Shalom, right? It's pronounced shalom. And as y'all know, Hebrew goes from right to left. You start on the right and go to the left. So you got shalom, which means peace, right? Mm-hmm. Shalom, and then we say the Lord's name, which is Yahweh, Yah, Ha. Then you have the character Wa, and then the character Ha, connected. Yah, Ha, Wa. If you notice, it's not Yahweh Ha, because the Ah comes off of the character Ha. So you got Yah, Ha, and then W-A-H instead of W-A-H-A. It's W-A-H because they're connected. Mm-hmm. So shalom, peace, Lord, this is the Lord, all right? Peace, the Lord, shalom, Yahweh. Now, it's 3 times where you actually permitted to say the Lord's name. I'll just break this down for y'all, right? It's 3 times. One is when you're teaching. So I'm going to put this down. So it's three times you permitted to say the Lord's name. All right? So you got 3 times. 3 times that you permitted to say the Lord's name. One is when you pray. You already know that, right? 2 is when you're teaching, of course. It's when you're teaching. And 3 is when you prophesy. When you're reading the Bible. Or when you're out there teaching on the streets. Doing what the prophets do. What we do. That's the 3 times you permitted to say the Lord's name.
What's those last 2?
Huh?
What's those last 2 words?
Hold on. Let me put this down real quick. It's 3 times you're permitted to say the Lord's name. All right. The last 2 is teaching and prophesy. Go ahead. Oh, the computer.
Last 2 words.
Oh no, we're gonna get to all that. We're gonna get to all that. So I just wanted to let everybody know, because remember, we're teaching online as well. So I'm trying to get everybody to see this. All right. So 1 is when you pray, 2 is when you teaching, and 3 is when you prophesy. All right, meaning teaching on the streets or reading the Bible. You can say it there. All right, actually reading the scriptures. But still, we don't really do it. Let me break this down. Let me write this. Meaning reading the Bible, All right. Reading the Bible or teaching on the streets. Now, I ain't saying this for fake Israelite groups. I'm talking about us, the men, when you prophesy. I'm just going to put in parentheses teaching on the streets just so y'all can get a clear understanding of what I mean. What we do. You know what I mean? Isupk, not everybody. You go and prophesy. That's when you're permitted to say the Lord's name. I just wanted to put that up there. Give everybody a chance to get it. Right? So you got peace, which is shalom. Then you got Yahweh, which is the Lord. So shalom, Yahweh. So peace, the Lord. Then you got Ba-ha-shem. Ba-ha-shem. All right, so I'm going to erase this, y'all. So shalom, Yahweh, Ba-shem. We're going to break this down. Ba-ha-shem. Ba, ha, sha, and the character ma are connected. All right. Ba means in when it's at the beginning of a root word, right? So let me first. So it'll be in, and then the, which is high at the beginning of a root word, and then name. All right. Peace, the Lord, in the name, because remember we're going right to left. So ba, ha, shum. So like S-H-A-M, shum. Ba, ha, shum. Shalom. Oh damn, I did this backwards. I gotta put how you pronounce it up top. I'm confused about actually doing that. Hebrew. Right. So ba, character ha, and then shum. All right. Now, so in the name. All right. So peace, the Lord, in the name, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, in the name of Yahweh Shah. Yah, character Wa, character Shah, and the character I are connected. Yahweh Shah. So Bahashem, Yah, Ha, Wa, Shah, which is also Joshua in English, and is also Jesus in Greek, or Jesse, right? Go ahead.
You try to say it?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you say it at the end. But you want to try to get this part, you can say that. You can say Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, and you can say that part. Shalom.
Shalom.
Yahweh.
Yahweh. Bashema.
Bahashem.
Bashahim.
So Ba, you can read it right here. Bahashem.
Bashahim.
So that's why I got it up here, so you can see it. Yahweh Shah. So you got Shalom.
Shalom.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bahashem.
Bashahim.
Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Shah.
Here you go. This is Jesus.
Yeah, I'm going to read that.
Yeah, for sure. So Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Now you just need Barak. All right, Barak, which is blessed. All right, I broke Barak. I'm supposed to be putting it in you. And y'all,
Barak.
Ba,
Avatar.
Ra, and then Ka. You gotta raise your hand now. I'm sorry. So Barak. All right. Barak, which means bless. This word means bless. All right. Barak, and then I don't know if y'all can see all the way over there, so I'm gonna write it down here. I'm gonna put it right in the middle. character tha, and ha. And the character tha and the character ha are connected. All right, tha. So this word tha, T-H-A-H, means you.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're saying is peace, the Lord, in the name of Jesus, right, or of Yahushua, of Jesus, bless you. So when we say Shalom, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Barakatah. Now you want to say it? You want to say it? Go ahead.
Shalom.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bahasham.
Bahashem.
Right here, Yahushua.
Barak.
Atah. And then you're saying peace, the Lord, in the name of Jesus, bless you. Now that's love for our brothers and sisters. Yeah.
That too good. I had that already.
Oh, Salaki. This right here, I'll add it for you, but is it showing you? You can take a seat too. I'll add it for you, but it's just showing you the way that you can either say a thigh, which is you, singular, or you can say a thumb, which is you, plural. So if it's more than one brother, so if I was just talking to you, I would say Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Thah. If I was talking to you and Barzal and just more than you, more than one person, I would say Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Thumb. So instead of this being a Thah, it would be thumb. Thah and character ma connected to show that it's plural. So it's you plural, but it's for men. You know what I mean? Barak, a thumb. So this is you plural. So in today's time, you could just say it'll be y'all. Bless y'all. All right. Now, as long as there's one man there, it can be a man and 8 women. You still going to greet them like this because the man is the head. And then you will probably go and greet the sisters separately from the brother and say, Yahweh Shamar ala Thun Bashem Yahushua. But that's just, courtesy for sisters, you know what I mean? I think the sisters feel important, which they are important, you know what I mean? But you could literally just be like, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Thumb and roll the hell out. And that's that. Or greet them, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Thumb. And the sisters will probably, greet you with the sisters reading. You know what I mean? But it's a gentleman, it's good. It's courtesy to greet the sisters as well. You probably stop and say, Yahweh Shema, Yahweh Shah, you know what I mean? Which is the Lord watch over you in the name of Jesus, right? But you'll say that too. But because, of course, Israel, we gentlemen, the old 9 yards, you know what I mean? We care for our people. So you would just, it's courtesy. You would say that to the sisters, you know what I mean? You get them a separate greeting, but you don't not physically, you don't have to. All right. Now, with that being said, that's one greeting with. Can I get a time check to see if we got enough time to do the next one?
8:40.
We got a little bit of time. We can get it. Now, the sister's greeting. To sort of save some time. Now I gotta do it over. All right. So I'll keep Shalom up there though. I'll keep Shalom, and I'll keep the Lord's name, and then we'll go into the rest of it. We'll do that. All right. So with that being said, we start off the same way. Shalom, which is peace. Yahweh, which is the Lord, right? Oh, so like you ever had grab that scripture for me that I asked for earlier? Let me pick this up. Salaki. So Yahweh, and then we say a Hebrew word shamar. Shah, character ma, and character ra. Shah, but the character ma and the character ra are connected. Shamar. All right, instead of shamara, it's shamar. All right, and this means watch. To watch means guard or protect. Put the pronunciation on me, did it again. Shamar. It means watch or guard, right? To keep, watch, or guard is the same thing. They would say keep back in the day. They would say guard now, or watch. Like a watchtower is a guard, and keep the third watch and all that. All those ancient terms, right? So peace, the Lord watch, Yahweh Shamar. Then you go I, character I. So the character I, now in English this is an O, but in Hebrew that's an I. And the character La, I, right? It means over. And let me put this up there while I got time. A lot of these characters, as you see in English, right? You can tell that they got them from Hebrew. All right. Let's give you a few examples, starting with I. So the character I, if you look today, that's the letter A. This is the character I, but today it's called O. It makes a different sound. Of course, today we call this L. This character Ma and the character Na in the alphabet are right next to each other. La, Ma, Na. L, M, N. La, Ma, Na. Literally, just like that in the alphabet. It goes, La, Ma, Na, Sa, I, Pa, Ta, Za, Kwa, Ra, Sha, Da. Right? So La, Ma, Na, they all literally this same three together. This is the character K, character Ka, K-A, right? But if you notice how this is, the letter K in English is the same way. This would be the back of it, and then this and that. But they just turn it around, of course. And that's the character K. They can do this in between the what you call it. I don't even know if y'all can see this. I just pretty much take that out the way, right? The letter K, right? Or the character Ka. I mean, so many things. Let me see. I think that's it. Oh, Za. Character Za. It's literally, she would call the letter Z today. Character Za. And it comes from a, I forget what they call this today, but it's a, it's the blade with the little handle in the middle. Now my drawing is not there, but I know somebody else can draw it, but it's the little braided blade. It looks like a Z. You just go through, boom, 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 boom. That's the character Za. Za means weapon. So that was a weapon back in the day. Yeah, if you wanted them, it was like having a stick. You know what I mean? Oh, the character Shah, which is a W today, but it's the character Shah. Back in our time, it's character Shah. I believe that's pretty much it for the most part. I want to say Tha is where you get the lowercase t from. Tha. But, there's just some examples. All right, I just wanted to put that in there. So y'all can pretty much see the comparison. All right. I'm gonna keep going with the reading. I just wanted to toss that in there real quick. So we have a little bit of time. I want to try to get some extra in there. So the character, so I and L, like how you walk down the aisle. All right, it means over, against, or upon. All right, over. So shalom, peace. Yahweh, the Lord. Shamar, watch. Isle, athah. Isle is over, but it's connected with the, it goes with the word athah. All right, athah, which is you, remember? A-H-T-H-A-H is you, but it's you singular, meaning just you. It's you singular, right? And the thought is you is neutral. It's not masculine or feminine. It's neutral. So shalom, peace, Yahweh, the Lord. Shamar, watch. Isle, over. Athah, you. Now, if you was talking to more than one woman, you would say, instead of saying Isle Athah, you would say Isle Athun. Just like you said, a thumb for the men, a thun. A thun is for the women to say y'all. But in this case, talking to sisters. It's plural. All right, it's to say y'all women. All right. Isle of Fun, watch over you. Watch over y'all. Right? It's you plural. So, oh damn, I didn't put how to pronounce it. It's a lot here. You move this out the way. Put how to pronounce a thun. And then T-H-A-N. A thun. Right? Means y'all. But this y'all is feminine. It's for women. So, you want to try and pronounce it?
Shalom. Wait, I keep messing up. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. Yeah.
This thing, long. Shalom.
Shalom. Yahweh.
Nope, it's right here. Yahweh. Yep. Shamar. Al. Like walk down the aisle. Try to pronounce this. Alathon. Get my hand. Yeah, I did. You did pretty good, huh? Shalom. Yahweh Shamar Alathon by Hashem Yahweh Shah. Let me hear you try to say it like that. Shalom Yahweh Shamar Alathon by Hashem Yahweh Shah.
Shalom. Yahweh Shamar Alathon.
By Hashem. I keep saying Alathon. I didn't even add by Hashem Yahweh Shah. All right, give him a hand. He tried the last one. I forgot I didn't put it up there. But at the end, we do still say Ba Hashem, meaning in the name, right? In the name of Yahushua. And the reason I said of so hard, because it's not in there. It's assumed. Right? In the name of, it's not in there, but it's assumed, of Jesus, right? By Hashem Yahushua, in the name of Jesus. We do everything in Yahushua's name. The Bible says you can't get unto the Lord but through his Son. So you're going to come to the Lord and not acknowledge Yahushua? That's in the Bible. And then you got something called Old Testament Israelites. How silly. How silly is that? You're an Old Testament Israelite that's coming to the Lord and not acknowledging Yahushua, the King. For what reason, I don't know. The only thing I can imagine is when they go to sleep, they still picture a white man as Jesus, and it's hard for them to get over. So they just disregard. Go ahead.
That's Jesus right there.
Yeah, that's a depiction. You can take a seat too. You got to raise your hand. You know what I mean? I know it's rough when you first come. You gotta get used to it. Because we're building a military. Give me I brought your armies out of Egypt. All right. Or give me the Lord of hosts. Any scripture like that. All right. Let me get a time check, Barzal.
8:49.
8:49. Maybe I can go and pull this out while you getting that, Salakia. Maybe I can go ahead and pull this out. Damn back crack. You know what I mean? All right. Need to do a little bit more stretching or something. Go ahead, Barzal, you got it?
Okay. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 15 and verse 3. The Lord is a man of war.
The Lord is a man of war. We all know that, right? All right, come over here now. The Lord is a man of war. We all know that, right? Go ahead.
Okay. The Lord is his name.
The Lord is his name. Go ahead.
Okay.
Meaning there's no other name but Yahweh. It's not Jehovah. It's not Yehovah. It's not Yahuwah. It's Yahweh.
No.
Oh, you lost it, Barzal?
Oh, no, sorry. I got to get a text from Cat.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Pharaoh's chariots is lost, hath he cast into the sea.
Reread it again from the top.
The Lord is a man of war.
Go ahead.
The Lord is his name.
Damn right. The Lord is a man, number one, of war, number two, not all of. The Lord of hosts is his name. The Lord of hosts. The Lord is his name, but he's the Lord of hosts. What I'll do with the phone. I want to pull up something for y'all in a second, but first I want to read this, right? This is the Zondervan Compact Bible Bit the Hell Up Dictionary. All right. I know I'm trying to make it fun for y'all. All right? Okay, so we on page 81. This is the definition of Bible. So you see. All right, you probably can't see it, but it's the definition of Bible. This is what it says: collection of books recognized and used by the Christian church as the inspired record of God's revelation of himself and of his will of mankind. That's pretty Christian-y, but okay, that's acceptable. That's acceptable. Now, with that being said, it gives you a bunch of different things of the Bible, a bunch of different definitions and little different things about the Old Testament. But it goes into language. So this is the definition of Bible. This is number 2, languages. I'll show you. I tried to highlight it with a red marker over top of the yellow to try to get some emphasis. I thought it was going to come out good. It just came out terrible, man. You can't even tell what the word is. That word is language. Anyway, you got to try. You know what I mean? All right, it says languages. Most of the Old Testament is written in Hebrew. We know that already, right? The language spoken by the Israelites in Canaan before the Babylonian captivity, because that's when they implemented all the Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey type of letters that we call the Assyrian letters, because that's what they belong to. The Babylonian captivity was the Assyrians. But these type of letters, all right? And Yah, that, and Ha, those type of letters, all right? That came from the Babylonian captivity, which is, once again, not these. We got these from being slaves to them damn Assyrians. Now, that being said, let's keep going. But after the return, giving way to Aramaic, meaning these letters replacing these letters, which, once again, I was telling y'all they was calling it Aramaic, but they call this Aramaic too, but they call it Paleo-Hebrew. They usually try to call it Phoenician. Yeah, they try to credit this to them African. But They call it Aramaic as well, but they talking about this when they say Aramaic. Go ahead.
You just say that was, that sounds like a disease name.
Oh, a disease name, a Phoenician. I got that Phoenician. Damn, man, Africans do be having diseases. Hey, that was good. They definitely be having damn diseases. Monkeypox and all types of craziness, man. All right, but they talking about these letters when they say giving way to the Aramaic, meaning using these letters to replace these letters, but still the same language. It's just replacing the letters with those. All right. It says a related dialect generally spoken throughout Southwest Asia. A few parts of the Old Testament are in Aramaic. Then it gives us scriptures, right? Talking about these type of letters. All right. Just keep that in mind. The ancient Hebrew text, meaning this, right, consisted of only consonants. Uh-oh. No Yod Hey Vav Hey, no Yishna Vishnika and Mazel Tov. In Yisrael, it said it consisted of only consonants. Sha, La, Ma, Wa, not Shalom, Akkadi. They say that crazy dumb stuff. But Shalom, Ak, you know what I mean? Akim. All right, because there's no vowels, it's just consonants. It says, since the Hebrew alphabet had no written vowels, vowel signs were invented by the Jewish Masoretic scholars in the 6th century and later. In the 6th century and later. Mazel tov. God damn. All right, except for a few words and sentences, the New Testament was composed in Greek. You know why? Because Armageddon is in the New Testament. And that word comes from Armageddon. Armageddon. Put it up here for you. I think y'all know that. Give me Armageddon in Revelations. Where it literally says the name, or it says called Armageddon. From R, meaning and Ra connected. R, Ma, God, damn. I gotta put it over here for y'all to see it. I don't think y'all can see it right here. I forget that this light shines like that. Let me put it over here. So and Ra connected R, Ma, God, and then D-A-N, done. Armageddon. Armageddon. All right, go ahead.
Oh God, it's the book of Revelation, chapter 16 and verse 16.
Go ahead.
And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon.
Armageddon. That's what it's called. Say it again.
Oh God. And he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon.
Armageddon. Armageddon. Armageddon. Now this way, I'm gonna just put the arrow because I wrote it backwards. This way y'all can see. Armageddon. Armageddon, which is pronounced Armageddon. Armageddon. All right. And I forgot y'all can't see it over there anyway. But that's just to say that we had no consonants and few words in the New Testament were Hebrew. It wasn't just Greek. Some words were Hebrew, like Armageddon. Give me also in the New Testament what Paul said in the Hebrew tongue. Give me what Paul said. When Yahushua said, "Why persecutest thou me, Paul? Can you kick against the pricks?" Why persecutest thou me? That's what Yahushua said to Paul. I'm going to keep reading while y'all get it. It says, except for a few words and sentences, the New Testament was composed in Greek, the language of ordinary intercourse in the Hellenistic world. What is a Hellenist? Is a Greek-speaking Jew, meaning a Greek-speaking nigga. Now that's how that's what they mean. That's a Hellenist. I love to bring those two books out because it aids in the class. Go ahead.
From Khan, this is the book of Acts, chapter 9 and verse 4.
Go ahead.
And he fell to the earth and heard a voice saying unto him, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? Verse 5.
And just so y'all know, we don't give a damn about no other language today. You can jam up any word you want to jam up. It don't mean nothing to us. Why persecutest thou me? As long as we get this Hebrew right, I'm a God. All right? Yahushua, we good. Go ahead, Barzal. Why persecutest thou me? Why you persecuting me? Meaning, why you over here destroying the work of the Lord or trying to? Trying to come against the work of the Most High. Go ahead.
Who art thou, Lord? And the Lord said, I am Yahushua, whom thou persecutest. It is hard for thee to kick against the pricks.
And give me the part where it says in the Hebrew tongue, or in the Hebrew. It might be up. Go ahead.
Chapter when?
Tell the young brother where we at. Young man 8.
It's the book of Acts, chapter 9 and verse 3.
Okay. Thank you.
The book of Acts, chapter 9, verse 3. It might be up where he says he heard a voice speaking in the Hebrew tongue. It might be up a little bit. Saying, Saul, it might be like one verse up. Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? Where you at?
Acts chapter 9, verse 4.
Acts chapter 9, verse 4. Boom, 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 boom. I might be mixing the two up. Yeah, I might be jamming those two up. Those two different scriptures. If y'all know what I'm talking about, y'all can post it. I pulled two different ones. There's another one where it says in the Hebrew tongue. All right, where it talks about the language. Oh, it's when Salakia might be Hebrew language instead of Hebrew tongue. I'm gonna still try to type in Hebrew tongue and see what pops up. Because it's saying in Hebrew tongue. It's the one where it talks about the Lord speaking in Hebrew. I should know this right off the bat. Boom, boom, boom. What is it? Paul stood on the steps and beckoned, and there was made a great silence, and he spake to them in the Hebrew tongue. Man. Was it Yahushua where he said, damn, I cannot remember. Salaki, y'all. Oh man, I cannot remember this damn scripture. It slipped my mind. It's something. Is it 26 and 14? Is that what you just read?
No, 9 and 4.
Might be 26 and 14. I believe that's what it is. Something 26 and 14. Yeah, this is Acts 26 and 14.
It's the book of Acts, chapter 26 and verse 14. And when we were all fallen to the earth, I heard a voice speaking unto me, and saying in the Hebrew tongue, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me?
This one it says in the Hebrew tongue, why persecutest thou me? A voice speaking from where?
A voice speaking unto me. It's like, I'm going to read from the top.
Go ahead.
Oh God. And when we were all fallen to the earth, I heard a voice speaking unto me and saying in the Hebrew tongue, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me?
Thank you. That came out in the Hebrew tongue. That why persecutest thou me? That was in Hebrew. That was spoke to Paul in Hebrew, not in Greek. Yeah. And Paul was a Hellenist, a Greek-speaking Jew. That's why he said in the Hebrew tongue. Why would that be so important? Because Paul spoke Greek and wrote Greek throughout the New Testament in Greek. A lot of brothers wrote and spoke Greek. A lot of the outside camps, meaning the ones that were outside of Jerusalem, they was in the school, but they were outside of Jerusalem. They spoke Greek, wrote Greek, and Hebrew as well. And to hear somebody speaking that Hebrew where they was at, it was like, okay, all right. Because he was considered a cast out at that time. You repping at Jerusalem. That's why the brothers had that in the Bible where they say, y'all brothers in Jerusalem talking about us, but y'all sinning and we not sinning. But we outside of Jerusalem, which is an Israelite battle that brothers go through all the time. You ain't from the hood, you ain't from this, and you like, but your hood is weak. Your hood getting stepped on. We out in the suburbs, and we the bosses. It's hoods in the suburbs. They always try to act like, because you, which is funny. Brothers in the hood, like myself, would always try to act like, because you was from the suburbs, you wasn't tough, or you know what I mean? Well, that didn't mean no damn nothing. You know what I mean? Because if you in the hood and you snitching, and they in the suburbs and they riding, once again, that's a Hebrew Israelite thing that we go through. Shalom. With that being said, I'm going to pass the class over. It was the Lashman Badaz class, man, and enjoyed it. Always enjoy it. I'm going to pass the class over to Priest and Officer of 1000, Officer Barzal. Islam means peace.
Mission Officer 5000, Officer McBride on in.
Please sit down, not you good.
Yeah, the Isupk started out on West 125th Street, all in New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are offerings for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if the brother or sister has an interest in any particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to the brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Ties, which is a commandment, you read about it in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. Also the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Ma'ashra means 10% in Hebrew, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department. Priest fund free will offering for the priest, not mandatory, whatever so amount you would like to give. Up and coming holy convocation will be the memorial of blowing the trumpets, which falls on September 25th, 2022. Read about that in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 24 through 25. For my Akim and Aqua to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, start to wear all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, Imagine, saying, Men of Israel, we're going to give the brothers a courteous salute. Men of Israel, Imagine Shabbat, Imagine, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakathon. Yahweh top between hands down. Sar, between sons and face to sisters. Sister Yahweh Shabbat will be with your feet at a 45-degree angle. Your right hand clasp over your left. And when we say Barak, with an open hand, smack your chest and say the salute back to the brothers. Men of Israel, we're going to get the sisters a courteous salute. And if it's real, come on, Shabbat. Ayman, Barak, Yahweh Shema, the Third Hashem Yahushua. Y'all top, put your hands down, class dismissed.
Shalom Israel, man. Water for tuning in, y'all. Water, young brother. A little Bible pressure on the Sabbath, man. Go ahead, get you some strong drink. Or just get you a Bible and chill. You know, chill with the family, the bread, whatever make you happy, man, as long as it's lawful. Enjoy your Sabbath, y'all. For tuning in. Shalom.